Yo, what's good? Man, we back at it again. Another episode of the Man and Man Pod. I'm one half for the Man and Man. I'm Antoine, but they got my co-host D. But
yes, sir.
It's a special episode this week, though. Howard Homecoming Edition / HBCU Homecoming. And we got our first guest today, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, Tennessee State alum. First round draft pick. What's good, bro? How you doing?
What's going on, man? What's going on? Y'all boys all right?
We good, man.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I'm gonna be a bystander a lot in this convo. I'm over here. I'm gonna be seething with a lot of jealousy too, because I went to a PWI, so I missed out on that HBCU experience. But obviously, I know DRC for a while, I know AB for a minute, and clearly, y'all boys held it down on the big stage and with the big dog. So, how was that experience? What was that experience like? Obviously, going from high school and then going to play on the HBCU level.
Man, to be honest, man, that HBCU love is just like that family-oriented love, man. Like you walking into a family, like a brotherhood, bro. I can tell you, like I watch guys. When I got into the pros in the locker room from the Florida States, the Miamis, but when you see a guy walking there from HBCU, man, the greeting's totally different, bro. Like it's like an understanding, like a level of respect that you have for that person because you know what they've been through, you know what it's like. So whenever I played the opposite team, man, the first thing I do is look on that look in that scout report and see who went to an HBCU, bro. Because sure. I got to walk up to him before the game or after the game, trade jerseys with him, something, man. I got a lot of jerseys from HBCU players, man.
And when you talk about like what you went through and what guys from HBCUs went through, can you kind of talk about that? Because I don't think a lot of people understand. They think like a Division I school like it's sweet. You know what I'm saying? Like talk about like what you had to go through. You know what I'm saying at Tennessee State.
Man, the reason why I wear that 4-5 proudly, man, is because when I first got on campus, man, the equipment coach reached into a dirty clothes hamper, man, and just threw me a jersey. And when I opened, I'm like 45. I balled it back up, threw it back. He was like, nah, it don't work like that here, man. You got to earn your way and stuff like that. But just the equipment, the weight room, man, just the resources not like that good, bro. But it's a grind, bro. But and to teach you how to be. How to have them humble beginnings, bro. But when I first got there, man, my shoulder pad was this big. I had the sharp cleats up to, man, when I got out there, I know they was going to try me because I wasn't looking the part. I was looking stank, man. And,
especially with that 4-5.
Yeah, dog. And then you want to get, it ain't like when you get clothes, like we get one sweatsuit and you got to turn that in at the end of the year. If not, you ain't going to be able to go to class next semester. So, man, it was tough, man, because we weren't privileged. We didn't get a lot of stuff. So it kind of taught us to just grind through whatever, man.
Yeah. Now I can dig it, man. Just talk about also, man, that transition, right? So now it's a big storyline, right? Obviously, Deion, Coach Deion at Jackson State. You got Eddie George over there now with you guys over at Tennessee State. But I think you are the first in a long time from HBCU to be drafted in the first round.
Right.
Talk about what that meant to you, and just as far as the narrative now, how people talking about coming from HBCUs and you can't have a long career in the league.
Right, man. I think it was a blessing, man. To be able to go first. I'm not gonna lie. When I first got to HBCU, I didn't think when I first got to TSU, I didn't think I was like first round was even thought of. I just knew I was 6'2" and I could run real fast. I knew I was gonna have the opportunity. And just grinding through the seasons. Making HBCU All-American here and there, and just hearing the hype. Oh, you got a chance to go to the league. It wasn't till my senior year when I got the chance, and it was like they need a small school guy to come represent on the offense and defensive side, and they picked me and Dexter Jackson from Appalachian State, and we had the opportunity to play in the Senior Bowl. And me looking at that talent, man, I realized, man, it ain't that much different.
Yeah,
I just think that their weight room is better than ours. Their O line is bigger, but when it comes to skill position, we the same. And in my mindset, I'm like, man, I got to stand out some kind of way. So in one-on-ones, man, I wasn't friendly. I wasn't talking to nobody. I was just trying to make a way, man, because you hit him knocks, but he don't play nobody. His competition level is not that good, and that always in your mind. But that's why I just try to go out there and just kept grinding and kept my head down, man. But the transition it was tough because they're gonna put every hurdle in front of you that they can, coming from a small school, man. But I just kept jumping them, man. I just kept my faith in me, like, you know what? All I need is an opportunity, but the opportunities just kept presenting itself, and I was just making sure I was ready.
No, that's real. That's real. Up, before we went live, man, we were talk about homecoming. You know, how homecoming this weekend. Definitely, I'm going to pull up. I'm going to show up. You said Tennessee State homecoming next weekend.
Yes, sir.
Man, talk about that energy and that vibe. You kind of touched on it earlier, how when you step on that campus, it's just like that family-oriented feeling that you get, man. But just tell the people, man, what it is, man, like at an HBCU homecoming and how it feels.
Man, it's electrifying, man. I can't even lie to you, man. I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna tell you the truth. It was time during the season I was playing. I'm like, man, I hope that bye week fall on homecoming.
What?
I got to go, man. And,
yeah.
It's just electrifying. You get to see all your dudes you played with, the greats that came. See, one thing I like about TSU, man, the Ed Too Tall Jones, and they come back. And, you know, you get to see the guys that you done read about coming from HBCUs that really set and paved the way for us. You like, man, I get to see these guys in person, man, and all us standing on the sideline, you know, just rooting on our fellow teammates, man. But just to go back and that whole week, man, I go back on, I start on Monday. I start on when you first start. I ain't getting that Thursday or Friday. I'm starting Monday, man, because it's just a great feeling, man. Like, one thing about HBCU, man, like I said, we family oriented. Like, I still talk to everybody that played with me. Like, we gonna at least be out there 40 deep. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, we all in this little group where we, hey, y'all going to homecoming. We always come back. Like, whenever I get a chance, I go. Now that I'm done playing, man, they definitely seeing me.
And I could attest to that because I played in your basketball game one time out there, and all Levine, Cocat was out there, Brandon was out there who works at NFL Network now. Y'all definitely stay connected, man. But going forward, I want to know, and obviously AB will jump back in this conversation after me. Going forward, obviously what Eddie George out there at TSU, you got Prime up there at Jackson State. Like, going forward, do you think, because obviously back in the day, a bunch of talent was coming from the HBCU. They was running a bunch of Hall of Famers and all that. Do you think we can get to a point going forward where you'll see that talent coming back into the league on like that type of basis? Like, every year you getting multiple guys drafted. Because last year, I think it wasn't no guys drafted from the HBCU program, which was crazy. Right. So do you think going forward that can change? And then going back to high school, you think we can have high school recruits, big-time high school recruits on that football level jump into these HBCUs?
Yeah, I think, I ain't gonna lie, I don't think it's gonna be like no dramatic change like right away. But I think it's gonna shed light because with those guys like Coach Prime and Coach George, man, you know, you walk into a kid house, you got guys of their caliber. I think you could pull some people to that with the way of the world. But the best thing I think they got going is the HBCU Combine. Now they have a combine, so that's another level that they can show their talent. So I think that we headed in the right direction, man. And I think it'll get there, but it ain't gonna be real fast.
Okay, it'll take some time. We're gonna be there too.
Yeah, we're gonna be out there. But before we let you go, bro, one thing, if you could tell a shorty that's coming out of high school, a 3-star, 2-star, 4-star, or 5-star, and they got, you know, some coaches from HBCUs knocking on their door, and obviously they gotta say you got mid-majors or whatever. Like, what would be one thing or two things that you would tell them that they gonna get at an HBCU that they not gonna get at a PWI?
Man, I would say that family love, man. You gonna get brotherhood forever. I ain't talking about just on the field, off the field. You gonna have guys that's really committed into you and knowing you, and you're gonna get a great experience, man, as far as just school-wise. You know, HBCUs can't be known for their part in school, but just the atmosphere, man, I'm telling you, it's just electrifying. But I always tell guys, like, you know what I mean, HBCU, PWI, no matter where you at, man, I tell kids to this day, man, it's about you. You know what I mean? It's about your grind. Whatever you put into it, man, you gonna have the opportunity wherever you at. It's about how you go about it, man. And, the HBCU gonna teach you a lot, man. It's gonna teach you discipline on and off the field, how to conduct yourself, man, and just how to be a brother and like something that's like an organization. Like, say if you go there, like I'm part of a fraternity, I'm a Sigma. You know what I mean? I got brothers on the football field and in just life, just far as Sigmas. I see Sigmas everywhere, man. So you're gonna learn a lot.
Nah, I appreciate it, man. We definitely gonna have to have you back on the show on a full show, man.
Yes, sir.
But definitely, as you said, man, it's always HBCU love, man. Love the way you always represent it for the HBCU family, man. But again, man, appreciate you stopping by, bro.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Y'all boy, hold it down.
All right,
man. We about to welcome in our next guest. One of my guys, he actually coached me while I was at Howard. He's a Howard legend, Florida boy. I still hold some records at Howard, some receiving records. But now he's an assistant head coach at Jackson State that's making a lot of noise in the football world, man. So y'all welcome Coach Flea to the show.
What's up, fellas? Thanks for having me, everyone.
Man, I appreciate you. I know you're a busy man. But again, this episode, man, we just talking about HBCU love, right? So just talk about, coming from Florida and you riding up Georgia Ave, man, and setting foot on Howard campus, man. Like, how did Howard affect you as a young man and as a football player?
Well, my story is the Howard, man. Being from Miami, being from Florida, I definitely wanted to stay in Florida. I was a big UM fan. Florida State also, man, but wasn't able to get that offer, and even FAMU, Bethune, because of my size, they felt like it didn't match up what they was trying to get done. And for me, I had an offer at Colorado that got taken away 2 days before signing day to be accurate. So I was left out there, bro. How I go 2 days before signing day, once you commit, and everybody's out of scholarship. And then, if you understand the recruiting process, the next time they come around might be like May in the spring to see what's left out there. And Howard came out and they realized I was still available out there. And at that time, I was pretty much frustrated with the whole recruiting process. They did a home visit with my mom. She was real big on the academic portion of it. And after, having that procedure done, she selected Howard for me. Never took a visit, never saw Georgia Avenue, never saw the yard. Yeah. And she said, you're going because of the academic piece of it. And when I went there and saw everything, it kind of consumed me with everything that was going on with the culture. And I had to really learn, where I'm from, the NSC, we really didn't know about HBCUs, because we didn't see them on TV. We never really visited those campus. Yeah. And to be on that campus, man, and go through that experience and go through all those things, kind of put a chip on my shoulder, having a daughter at an early age, bro, it kind of put me in the mind frame to go get it. And I just went to class every day, man, and I kind of learned a lot of things about how the HBCU culture, some of the things as far as doing more with less, going through all the adversity as far as, just trying to be a man and mature, maneuver on campus and get things done. So it put a lot of in me to be where I am today as far as just trying to get things done, even though you get a no here and there, turn that no into a yes.
Yeah, so then just talk about like on the field, right? So obviously, like you say, you was late in the recruiting process. Howard came and got you, scooped you up. Yes. And then you step on the field. Your quarterback was another Howard legend, Jay Walker. And just talk about the things that you did on the field, man. Like, I don't think, obviously I know, but just the impact you had on the field and the impact you have on Howard University.
Well, anytime, the things you do in life, you can in 10, 20, 30 years from now, you walk up to a crowd or walk back into an environment and people still speak highly of your name or things you've done, that means you did it the right way. And that always means a lot to me. But going to Howard, like I said, at that time, where there's a transition from Willie Jeffries, who's a legend coach at Howard University, and Steve Wilson was a legendary coach. Now Steve Wilson, I came into his second year. So at that time, first time head coach came from the league. He's trying to, create his philosophy and things of nature as far as implement this program. So when it comes to scheme, offensively, plays, during that time, they trying to figure things out to see what's going to work and, as far as personnel. So I was part of that process. But when I came in, part of like practice 3, the things I did in practice, Steve Wilson named me a starter. So I started from day 3 stepping on campus. At 5'7", 150, and I just took off from there, man. And I did well at punt return. At my first year, I made All-American as punt return. And, and I led every year as far as the team in reception. I started off 4 years, and the biggest thing I can say, I graduated from the School of Business with marketing in 4 years. So to be able to start 4 years, you guys know it's tough, and finish in 4 years, that was a great accomplishment. But when I left Howard University, man, no one in the history of the conference had more receptions for me, even John Taylor. So when I left Howard, I was the number 1 receiver in the school history, but I had the most reception in the history of the MEAC at that time. Now, a lot of guys done came that past me now because the game done changed.
Yeah.
Ball around. But, I came in my first 2 years, we struggled as far as quarterbacks through my whole career. Up to that point, I probably had 7 different quarterbacks. And Jay Walker came my junior year, my last 2 years, and he was that missing piece. And he did some great things in the passing game, and we took off those last 2 years. So that was my career as far as coming in early, solidifying the spot day 3, and just being consistent and just do what I do, doing the things I was taught growing up in the streets of Miami, playing the game of football, man, just going at it. And every year, making All-American my first year, and every year being first team All-MEAC, and just make sure when I leave, like everybody on here, you want to be the best what you do. And like I say, at that time, I was the best receiver coming to MEAC when I left Howard University.
Nah, man, that's big. That's big. And then,
I got to ask him, man, from an outsider, how was your first experience with homecoming weekend, homecoming time? It's homecoming season. Y'all coming off of setting records as far as bringing in the crowd, out bringing in, SEC and ACC schools. Now you on the other side of it as a coach. But what was that experience like as a player? Getting obviously coming from Miami, going to DC. I'm sure there's a lot of similarities, but some differences in that college environment. What was that like?
Man, I tell you, man, leaving Miami and then going to DC is just different. It's just a different environment, different vibe. How a homecoming, especially back then, you just don't know who you're gonna see on the sideline. You might see Biggie sitting next to you, and then somebody else, Puff, who's sitting on the other side of you. Man, we're just that type of magnitude, those type of people that was involved when it came to Howard homecoming. It was just a big event, big show. As a player. Of course, as a player, you don't get a chance to really dive into it and experience everything that's involved into it because you're building yourself up for that game. So the coaches do a good job as far as trying to keep you separate from all the events. But as a player, once that game is played, then that night, then you join into it. You got the campus party, man. Sometimes you go out in the streets of DC. Back then, they had the Republic Guard and all those other clubs where DC was.
Good time.
Yeah, they was good.
Good time.
Yeah, so Howard homecoming, man, it's an event, bro. It's the yard, the yard fest. It's just so much that's involved with Howard homecoming that I just didn't know about it. Then you see so many people that look like us at one time, and then it's doing well. It was just different experience. Then when you come to Jackson State, one thing I can say, well, me and Bartel, but this swag is totally different, bro. When it comes to homecoming, when it comes to a tailgating, a tennis, Howard more. When you go to Howard homecoming, it's glamorous. It's you know what I'm saying? It's that type of feel. You go to the game, you get out, you go to the club, but a homecoming in the South, it's all tight. It's all in one. It's on that campus in that community. Everything is right there. And you get that 55,000. You get that tailgating. It's down south. You get that good cooking. It's totally different vibe. And they just love their teams in this area, man. It's straight love. But I always thought Howard homecoming, with our respect to the highest level, was one of the greatest. But it's down here, man. They do it on a whole different level. It's all about what you want to partake in, whatever suits you. You know what I'm saying? What you're trying to get done. But it's not like it be able to go back. And you can always go back 10, 20 years from now and still get that same feel. See them same people. It's a family atmosphere.
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
that can't experience with a PWI in my experience.
yeah. We just had Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, and he was just saying the same thing, just how that HBCU is so family oriented. And you talking about Jackson State, right? So kind of want to touch on it. You know, I came out there when, you know, you guys had y'all camp.
Yes.
And, you know, Coach Dion and you guys, man, y'all are making a lot of noise. And, you know, this past week, I think y'all had, like 56,000 up there?
Yes.
So that was more than Mississippi State, man. So just talk about that culture, man, how y'all was able to go up there and just change the whole trajectory of how people are looking at HBCUs now, you know, just the uniforms and just the way y'all going about doing things, man. Like, just speak on that culture right now.
No, everything starts and finishes with Coach Prime, man. He's a different dude. You know, me meeting him and being around him, man, it changed my whole perspective. You know, I realized I got so much to learn, so much to do. Just being with a guy that gets up every morning at 5:30 and don't stop until about 7, because he's in the bed by 8. He can't be up too late. But he's in the ground, man. He comes in, and one thing, but you understand, like when we had those schools, you know, we just HBCUs just they're afraid of change. You know, they want to continue to do what they've been doing in the past because they don't want to change. They believe it worked in the past, and they don't understand that there's other ways of doing things to have success. And luckily, we got a guy like Prime who don't understand that. You know, where he comes from, you know, you can tell him, well, we can't do this because this is how we always done it. But if it's not productive, he's not going to accept that. Either you're going to get it done with you or without you. So now he goes around and he just continue to bring things on top of things, you know, new practice field, new meeting spaces, you know, six uniforms, 6 different helmets, you know, things that Power Fives get that HBCUs usually don't get. And I got asked that question in the interview earlier about, you know, the HBCU, you know, the HBCU culture, and then the things the Power Five get, like what's the experience, what's the difference? And I see, like at Jackson State now, you got to imagine this, man, like you getting all the HBCU experience, you getting that social life, you know, you're around your people, you getting that networking, you know what I'm saying, you getting those relationships, you know, you getting that HBCU feel, but now you're getting that Power Five-ish with Coach Prime, you're getting the uniforms, you're getting played on ESPN, you travel well, you stay in nice hotels, you get the best of both worlds. You know, this is something that has never been done. You know, you go to a Howard those schools, you're gonna get the social life, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get the education piece, of course. But when it comes to facilities, you know, it's like the resources, you know, is limited. But right here, Prime, he does a good job as far as going outside the campus to bring the revenues dollars. You know, we had 55,000. I think he bought the city, made like $5 million just that weekend. So this thing he's doing outside of Jackson State, that's tremendous. And it's like, it's only gonna get better. You know, it's a different field, and it's good to see it done in the HBCU level. And he just want to show the presidents, the board of trustees, the ADs, if you see what we're doing, if you believe in what we're doing, just somehow implement on your campus and see how far you can take it. You know what I'm saying? So all he want to do is bring awareness.
Yeah, he doing that, man. Coach Prime will get it done. He always been a game changer. That's actually who I trained with coming out preparing for the Combine. He had Prime U at that time out in Dallas. And he was working with high school kids and now obviously doing this thing on the HBCU level. But I got to ask before we let you go, what was your first impression of AB when you were coaching him? I need to know what you thought of him as a player the first time y'all met.
Well, the thing is, you know, he's a DB. Now I was a receiver coach, so I had to find ways to make sure my guys beat him. And one thing about that joker, man, he hate to lose. You know what I'm saying? And then one situation I had, J-Boy, Jerome Williams. J-Boy, he could route, he had a little, you know, he could pull a stick at the top and boom, boom, boom. But he was light. And at Atlanta scrimmage, Bartel would put them hands on him. Every time he would coach him, like, Coach, how can I defeat him at Atlanta scrimmage? And I tried to coach him, but I couldn't. There's nothing I can do. But once he got his hands, it was over. So it's like certain things like that. But, you know, I know when he get beat, he jumps right back up there, man. I saw that dog when he was young man early, it just things that he was able to do as far as covering, and then coming off that edge. I mean, you got a guy that can do both in the secondary cover and be effective as far as blitzing. You can do a lot with him in the defense. And I just always listen to see how people coach certain players and how our defensive coordinator, Coach Petty, how they use him. it's like that position always was a dog. That position always blossomed. When you look at going back to Billy Jenkins, who played the same way. Him and Antoine Bethea are two same type of guys as far as being able to cover, being athletic, and being able to come off and be physical in that box. And both guys are, future Hall of Famers and got Super Bowls. So that tells you right there that the coaching that went into it, he's very coachable, and he just had that drive in him. But you saw that early that he had something to prove.
Yeah, I had to ask that because I know every receiver's coach that I knew, it was always a special relationship with that, especially if you was a dog as a DB. Yeah. You was gonna be well known with that receivers coach. So I had to know.
Oh, he made me work. He made me have to go.
No doubt. Man, he out there talking that trash and everything. But one last question before we let you go. Just the path to the NFL from HBCUs, right? Mm-hmm. So you had your stint. And obviously we've had, people from HBCUs make that transition. What do you think it looks like here present and in the future as far as the young men in HBCUs actually getting a real look to have an impact in the league?
I think it happened more. Of course, it happened quite often back then. Even before my time, it happened quite often. During my time, it kind of decreased a little. I came through a time where big receivers, the Herman Moore type, was a trend, and they really wasn't taking those small receivers during that time. Now things have changed. But now when you look at also the past, let's go 3-4 years, we're not getting those opportunities. We're not getting drafted from the HBCUs. I don't know why. I can't figure out what's the reason. I know Coach Prime trying to bring awareness to that as far as doing separate things to give guys look. Because you know how it is. If you ain't going to the combine and getting drafted, it's tough. What I'm saying? If you ain't getting guys come to your individual pro, if you ain't got someone to spotlight on your campus, sometimes them scouts might not, the right people, they might send somebody, but they're not sending the right people that maybe to pull that trigger to go back and this the guy. So it's like we got to create that environment where our guys can get in front of those GMs, get in front of the ones that make the decision, and just give us the opportunity to showcase ourselves. It's definitely on decline. When you look at Leonard from South Carolina State, man, we got guys who can play on this level. We just need an opportunity. We just need a platform like you guys providing to give us the opportunity to get in front of those people. But it's hard to say how things going to change. I know anytime you bring awareness to something, you hope it provoke changes, the right change. You're going back to the Rooney Rule. They provoke change, but is it really helping Black coaches get jobs, or just a format, just something that you go through a process? So hopefully we get something in place where guys can, we ain't saying just give it to them, but we can showcase our talent, let's go in and earn a spot. But it's always tough, man. We got guys here we feel like can play on the next level, and that's what we're trying to do. We feel like we can get guys drafted from Jackson State. That's a big accomplishment, and we'll have other guys come in and see it can be done, and then force those individuals to go on these campuses to find those type guys.
Yeah. That's real, man. Yeah. That's all we asked for was an opportunity, man. And then from there, it's in our hands, baby. But again, man, legend Coach Free, man, I appreciate you, man, taking the time out today, man. Come join us. I'll probably say later on in the season, man, we definitely gonna have to have you on here for a full-length show, man. But again, man, I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you guys having me. I've been watching you guys, man, do good things, good topics, man. So keep doing what you're doing. We need these type platforms, man. I've always been proud of you. I just met you, Darius, for the first time, man, and watching you guys go back and forth. So, man, I love the grind. I see you guys serious about it, man. So I always see positive Black men do what they do.
Man, appreciate that.
You, Coach.
Absolutely.
Good luck the rest of the way this year.
All right, come on back out to Jackson, man. Come on, Green Butler with you, man. We got
to come down here.
I definitely got to get down there.
That game, man. That's gonna be another 55,000-60,000.
When is that?
That's the last game, November 20th. That's the big one.
Okay.
That's the big one.
We'll be at the HBCU Combine this year too.
Okay.
So we'll definitely be a part of that. Yep.
I appreciate it. Anytime, let me know what I can do for y'all, man.
I bet.
Appreciate it.
Next up, man, we got another guest for you guys. My guy, one of my dogs. We played at Howard together. My guy Ron Bartell from Detroit, Michigan.
What's up? What's up, fellas?
What's good, man? Appreciate you joining the show.
No, thank y'all for having me.
Man, so obviously, man, it's a special edition of the Man to Man Pod, man. We talk about homecoming, man. We talking about just that energy, man, when you stepping on campus during this week. And as you know, as a player, you know, we really couldn't get to dibble and dabble into all the festivities, man. But just touch on it, man. Just touch on that Howard homecoming feel.
I knew Howard homecoming was different when we were at practice on a Friday walkthrough, and Coach Petty just ended practice early because guys weren't paying attention. Let us go to the yard. You know, I've never seen a coach do that before, just so guys could participate. But you know, the energy is real. Being able to see the best and the brightest of people that look like us. I mean, it's nothing like it. It's, you know, it's a historical university. DC is a historical town. You know, you got the Drakes that come through homecoming. Notorious Big has been there back in the day. So, I mean, it's unmatched. It's really unmatched.
Yeah. So then just talk about, you know, how Howard helped you, just even where you at right now, the entrepreneur, as a businessman, as a black man. Just talk about the impact Howard had on you and not even as an athlete, but just as a black man.
Man, it was nothing like, you know, getting to that university and just seeing people that look like you with goals that are dedicated to a goal at hand, a task at hand. And, you know, it was inspirational. You know, just being able to be in that city, that place, you know, being able to see young black males going to class every day, buttoned up, straight on a straight and narrow, trying to get it. The young ladies that were doing well around the university. It was totally different coming from a PWI. Literally, I would go days without seeing somebody that looks like me outside of a. That was tough transition for me. You know, I was coming from the inner city, Detroit public school kid, making a transition to go to a predominantly white institution. And I'm literally in class, the only black male in class. You know, you stuck out like a sore thumb. I started to feel like a token black guy a little bit. So, you know, just being able to have the opportunity to transfer to a place like Howard, where, you know, the first day I stepped on campus, you guys, you know, you all took me in with open arms, and it was just motivational just to see people that look like us trying to be on the right path and do things the right way.
Yeah. Man, so from there, right? So you at Central Michigan, you transfer to Howard, you know, you having a ball. I know you had some you know, some close friends that went there, you went to high school with. So like you said, we welcomed you with open arms. But as you hear now, as far as that narrative where, you know, you're trying to figure out why guys that play in HBCU not really getting that chance to showcase their abilities and make it to the league, right? So in 2005, you were a second round draft pick to the St. Louis Rams, man. Just talk about that transition. Like, were you ready? Some of the things that you were kind of hearing coming out, you know, that draft process, like how was that process for you?
Well, from the transition from to start off, the transition from a PWI, you know, Central Michigan is a MAC, Mid-American Conference, a mid-major. It was just a difference in the mindset in terms of the football once I got to Howard. You know, being at Central, you were programmed, basically. You know, they operated in fear. Guys feared being sent home. So, you know, a lot of the stuff that we were doing, we just did out of, you know, operating out of fear. And that's not really the right mindset you want to be in. It's not really a welcoming environment. It's not really the type of relationships that you could cultivate and foster to be successful. I didn't think. So when I got to Howard, just being in a place where, you know, they with Coach Petty, you know, he wasn't about fear. He was about respect. You know, he really instilled, you know, he ruled with an iron fist, but it was all about respect. But as far as, you know, that transition to the next level, the talent level was pretty much the same from Black College to PWI. You know, the coaching was really good. You know, we had Coach Bolton. Coach Bolton did a great job with us. He prepared us. You know, he had the NFL background and NFL experience. You know, my transition was just like everybody else. You know, it was a job. We were coming from college, and we were really in the big boy leagues, and we had a transition to it really being a career and a job now and being cutthroat. You know, but as far as the talent level, you know, I always felt I had high quality talent. I always felt we received high quality coaching at Howard. And even the guys who went against the competition level, we played against NFL caliber receivers. Jerome Mathis played in NFL. We played against Rasheem Mathis. The list goes on. So we competed against high level competition. So I didn't think the transition was that big of a deal like scouts were making it out to be. Once I got to the Senior Bowl and measured myself against guys like Carlos Rogers, Marlon Jackson that was coming out in my class, I knew I could compete. It was more of a figment of their imagination than my reality at that point.
Nah.
I gotta know, man. What was it like playing with AB in college, man? I gotta hear some.
Oh man, hey man.
At least 1 or 2 funny AB stories, practice, football field, something.
Hey man, some of them stories I can't give is a lot. But no, man. Like, look, man, he's been the same guy since day one, just laid back, just a really good brother. I say this to this day, he is one of the best football players I've ever played with, hands down. I came in, he was I think he was a sophomore at the time. He was a sophomore, smaller dude, sneaky athletic, just hella smart, hella dedicated to his craft, like really took it serious. So we clicked right away, but really, really one of the best football players, all around football players I've ever played with. And just all around good dude, one of my brothers.
Man, appreciate that, bro.
I need to know a big game, man. Give me a big game, a big moment, because y'all play the game. Nothing like, I know my best friend right now, Tyvon Brent. We played in the same secondary together in college.
Yeah.
Them war stories, man. Any war stories, any heat of the moment, AB, Ron, anyone y'all I gotta hear these.
Man, I remember them Hampton games. Those used to be battles. I remember we had a play. It was a fumble play. We all kept pitching the ball, and AB pitched it to me, and Vontae, I pitched it to Vontae, and it was just crazy stuff like that. It was a lot of battles, man, and just a really all around good dude.
Nah, man. As always, bro, man. I appreciate you. Like I said, you coming to Howard, man. It put a little it gave me motivation. You know what I'm saying? Coach Bolton, like you said, Coach Bolton, the way he coached us rough, tough, but it was like he was like another father figure. But when you stepped on campus, everybody was like, man, I don't know where this dude from, but this dude, he's 6'1", 6'2", 210 pounds and running a 4.3, 140. So I'm like, yo, I need to get my stuff together, yo. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you always motivated me, and I appreciate you, bro. And still to this day, man, what you're doing off the field, what you're doing in the community back there in Detroit, it's commendable, man. So as always, man, love you, bro. And I appreciate you stopping on the show.
I appreciate you guys having me, man. I'll catch you this weekend too, bro. Congratulations, man.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it.
Coming through.
Cheers, man. It's a pleasure, man.
Same.
All right,
hey, man, before we wrap up this special episode, man, which I know I thoroughly enjoyed. I hope everybody listening enjoyed it as well. I got to ask you, though. I know we talk about the HBCU, the PWI experience a lot. I got to ask you your favorite Howard homecoming moment, man. I know everybody that got on here talked about the family environment, the parties, the other stuff, the dignitaries that come around. What was your favorite moment, Howard homecoming moment for you?
Man, it was a lot. It was a lot of homecoming moments, just like you said, from the parties to like the fashion shows, to the step shows, to the house parties after the game. But I think the one that kind of stands out is when I met Maya. Mm-hmm. So this was my senior year. We in the middle of the game, we come to the sideline, and Maya's on the sideline.
Wait, Maya like NYA Maya?
NYA. High school crossover weight, you got it. Carolina Blue kick, you know what I'm saying? Jay-Z.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So coming running off the field, defense coming off the field, and you do like the triple take, like you know what I'm saying? So sitting on the bench, coach talking, going over some stuff. So our camera guy was like, yo, like, you want to take a picture with Maya? So I'm thinking, damn, coach talking, but I get this flick. I'm like, man, they good. I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go get this flick. I'm gonna get this flick. You know, Mom Duke still got that flick to this day. You know, but that was kind of one of them moments where it's like, well, dang, like, cause she was hot at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, being able just to see her on the sideline right there, just like everybody was saying, like you don't know who you're gonna see on homecoming. But that was one of the moments that kind of stick out to me, you know, for various reasons. But that was one of my good Howard homecoming moments.
Hey, that's a good one. That's a good one right there, man. Shout out to Howard, man. Shout out to the HBCUs, man. It's obviously, like you said, been a special episode. You have been a great representation of a HBCU grad and you know what everything y'all do and stand for, man. So I'm definitely gonna try to get up there. You know, our kids got some Halloween's trunk or treat stuff.
Man, just give me one day, man.
I'm trying to get up there, man.
Give me one day.
What you got going on this weekend, though, man?
Hey, man, for one, it's Howard homecoming. You know, we coming back to the Mecca. We coming back home. You know, obviously teammates. Obviously, homecoming is looking a little different this year. It's no Yard Fest, no tailgate. But I am coming up there with my family, my friends with COVID, yeah. But I am coming up there this week with my family and friends, man. We celebrating my retirement. So, you know, if y'all listening, y'all want to come out Friday, we got a happy hour at Focus on 8th Street. Saturday, man, we got a party, man. We at the gathering spot. We got Rick Ross coming through. If you want to get your tickets, ab41retirement.splashthat.com. It's a 30 and up event. We grown, dress up. You gotta put that stuff on, man. Look good, man. Put some stuff on, man. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna party, like an old school party. And Sunday, man, we'll be at Stories for brunch. 12 Stories for brunch, man. So again, man, y'all come out. It's gonna be a good time. Nothing but love, positive energy, and good people. So if you can tap in, if you can come show some love, show some love.
Yes, sir. Definitely gonna try to get up there, man. Appreciate y'all for joining us. It's an amazing episode, man. Loved it. Anything else you got for your people?
Man, that's it, man. Shout out to all my HBCUs, man. It's homecoming season, man. We out. Peace.
Yes, sir.